It's not static. From the time of Jesus up to this time, the ways of delivering this salvation message has been gone through many formats. At one point, it was only pastors that can deliver it in the church. Later, it went out. People can go on the street. Later, people went into churches like Anglican church. From there, they went into Pentecostal. From there, we got radio, and then radio, internet, and then, from radio to TV, now to internet. And different ways. You can deliver the sermon with PowerPoints. You can deliver it reading from paper. You can deliver it on radio. We know the means of delivering the sermon is always dynamic. But the message itself is the same old message. It doesn't change. So you need somebody who understands that and who can let go the means of delivery, video, audio, funny graphics and all that, but who's going to keep an eye to make sure whatever it is they're sharing is biblical, that we are not straying from the word just because we want to attract the lost. That is a delicate balance that your evangelism director needs to, because that's the person everybody on the team is reporting to. The person managing your Telegram account is responsible to him. So he needs to know what he's doing. He must know the vision of the church. He must be a very loyal person to the vision of the pastor. And he must also be somebody who knows the word. So let me give you a practical example of how to start an evangelism outreach. I call this the cyber embassy model. All right. So we have responsible volunteer managers for each of our platforms. We have a Facebook manager, Instagram manager, LinkedIn. We call them coordinators. Facebook coordinator, Instagram coordinator, LinkedIn. About 8 different social media. We are active simultaneously. We have one person coordinating that. And they're volunteers, so you can do that. Your members of your church will gladly do that. So your evangelism director or pastor that you have appointed, he will be the one to appoint and supervise these people. You as the senior pastor, of course, you have to give him backup, get people to raise up their hands in church to support the evangelism outreach of the department, and then you pray for them. You actually constitute them the way you constitute your worship team so that they know it's a serious matter. And then you tell them they report to you every month. From there, your director then goes out and shares out the different areas you want to be influential. Ideally, you should have one person manage a social media platform. Of course, if you're a small church or you're just starting, one person can actually do all of them. Because really, it's just sharing stuff, making sure things flow from the physical church through social media, getting videos that can go viral, and designing banners and stuff, that a lot of stuff which really one person can do if it's a full-time job. But you want to get volunteers. The more people doing this, the more effective you're going to have. So it's a volunteer call. And once you recognize them like that, and you appreciate them every month, stuff like that, people will be committed. We have digital meeting rooms for ongoing meetings and discussions. Not only do we have our staffing for each part of our structure that I showed you, we have meeting rooms for each of them, so that each group, they have a place where they meet and they discuss. The evangelism team, that's where they come up with what they want to do for the week. How are we going to do evangelism? We want everybody to make sure they do a private discussion with 10 people today. Share this banner with them, and from there, engage them in discussions about Christ. That's a strategy they use once. But they come up with different strategies every week. We have our fellowship director, and the people under them, they have their own group where they're talking, how can we do fellowship better? What kind of new fellowships do we want to start? They make decisions there, and then they share it through the normal church channel. So basically, we have a central workers group and subgroups focused on discussions for each sub-department that you see in the structure that I showed you in the first part or in the lesson preceding this. Now, we use WhatsApp as our digital workers auditorium, like I mentioned in the last video, with small breakout rooms. Why? Because WhatsApp was more adaptable by most of our members. Out of our committed 580 members who have signed the membership covenant, more than 50 to 60% of them, or even 70% are from Africa. And we know Africans are all very good on WhatsApp. So I went to WhatsApp, despite knowing that WhatsApp is not really the best. It could have been Slack. Slack is a much better tool to use for engaging small groups of workers in different departments and all that. But that means I have to teach them what Slack is. I have to get them to download Slack. I have to get them to go know how to use Slack. That to me is a long thing that may make many of them even fall out. So I chose for a less effective platform, but that is very useful for every one of them. Facebook group is even better than WhatsApp, I think, because you can go live there. The team leader for each sub-team can go live and they can chat live. But I prefer WhatsApp to Facebook group based on our own demography. You choose what is best for your church, wherever you're watching this. Maybe you're watching this from London, and the more popular tool is a different tool. Use that. For some, it's Skype they are using. Skype is also a very effective tool, and it's free to group people into subgroups so that they can have discussions in their group. Even in WhatsApp, you can actually even do video call to that small group where everybody can be on video and chat. But I didn't use WhatsApp. Like I said, many of our members don't even have WhatsApp or they're not active there. And I didn't feel when we first started that I have to go teach them how to do all of that all over. We needed to get something going and going fast. So here is how we are structured. As you can see, we have staff in here. Each of our people, they have people leading each of the teams, and each of the teams have their own subgroup on WhatsApp. Maybe I should go back live there and show you there. I think I shared part of this in the first video, but let's go over it again. Let me go over it. Okay, as you can see, oops, sorry. That's not what I wanted to share. I wanted to share the WhatsApp thing. Okay, there you go. Let me do that as we start bringing this part of it to a close. I wanted to share, as you can see right here, we picked WhatsApp as our main workers group. We call it the workers auditorium. This is where we do the administration of the church, not the ministration. Ministration goes out on all social media, but the administration of it with our staff goes on inside WhatsApp for reasons I've explained. For instance, here is the our Nehemiah group. I name the old workers of the church. I call them Nehemiah group because I told them that the first year we want to have 1 million followers on our Facebook page, and we want to have 100,000 members that have committed to be members of the church. I wanted to build a 100,000 member church the first year that will say I'm a member of Cyber Embassy. I'll be able to go through our membership class and be able to pay tithe and offering and all that stuff. And we know it's a big task. So I call them the Nehemiah team. As you can see, the workers of our church right now, 111 active participants. At one point, we had like 240. But we have to start removing those who are not active. Because if you're a member of our workforce, you need to volunteer to be in one ministry. You have to be serving. You can't be a worker and you're not serving anywhere. So about 3 weeks ago, I instructed our church administrator to start deleting somebody who has not been active for a week. So we reduced them to 110 active people. So this is where everybody comes. So when we are teaching on Sunday, for instance, we say those who want to join, help us in being workers at the Cyber Embassy of Christ for all nations, all internet church. Go to workers.thecyberembassy.org to join the worker cadre. So when they go to that website, when they click on it, this is where they come. They are added here, and they, as you can see, somebody just joined us right now. You can see, I think from South Africa or somewhere, this is +92. I don't know what country that is, but I know it's not Nigeria. So somebody just joined us, and the idea then is this person from here, they will now be interrogated by by our ministers for where does he want to serve. From here, if he now says, oh, I want to serve in the evangelism department, then what we do is we give him a link to join this, to join the evangelism department on Facebook. As you can see right here, we have all the departments are separated, right? Let me, if I want to do evangelism, so evangelism, all I do is just search for the evangelism section of our church. Oops. Right here. So to make sure that it's easy for me to search, we begin every subgroup with the word TCE, which is the Cyber Embassy right here, and then dash whatever the subgroup is. So as you can see right here, we have more than 30 right now, I think, more than 30 subgroups of our church. As you can see right here, TCE Evangelism Team, TCE Communications, TCE Youth Team, TCE Prayer. This is where the prayer warriors For those who want to join the prayer warrior team, they go from the Nehemiah group, they sign up to come into this small group. This is the group where we have our prayer warriors. That's where they do their thing. That's when they set up the prayer they want to do. As you can see, they are planning a prayer campaign now for the purpose-driven life campaign that we're planning to do online for the first time. We're going to execute the purpose-driven life campaign 100% on the internet. So they are working on that. You see the church admin department. So people, we subdivided our main WhatsApp group into smaller groups on WhatsApp. Again, you can choose how you want to structure your own church on the internet, whether you want to use WhatsApp, or you want to use Slack, or you want to use Skype, or you want to use Facebook group. Any software, any social media where you can adequately break people into subgroups where they can chat among themselves outside of the view of other people will work. We picked WhatsApp because WhatsApp is one of the most dynamic software for most members of our workers. So we don't have to teach them how to use WhatsApp. We don't have to teach them how to go download WhatsApp. They already have it. So it was a very easy thing for us to get them to be active in whatever small group they have. As you can see, there are so many small groups that we're operating in, and that is where they decide. So we call the Nehemiah group the workers auditorium. The same way, it's like, imagine having a big building that is for your workers meeting. Then in that building, you have small rooms for the sub departments to have their own meetings and come up with their own strategies and do their own work. So we have our main team, Nehemiah, and then we create subgroups under, as you can see, TCE sub. That's a group under a major group. TCE Ministry Directory is the main one, on and on like that. And you also can do that for your church. Again, so that we don't lose track here. We are talking about you creating the foundations for explosive digital outreach. And we said in the first lesson on that you have to structure for digital outreach. In this video, I've just explained to you how you should staff for digital outreach. You might not be able to do the elaborate staffing that as I've explained it, but you can start with what you can afford. In other words, when I say afford, I mean in terms of time, in terms of management. It doesn't have to be money. Many of our own staff, they are not paid. All our social media managers are not paid, but they are doing a great job. They are volunteers. They love it. And we interview them. We didn't just pick anybody and say, go and manage our LinkedIn. We want to see what your LinkedIn account looks like. We want to be sure you are actually very interested in social media. Then we entrust you, we give you the login details and all that to manage that for us. Then we provide training. How do you do your LinkedIn thing? All those training, of course, I'm going to also be putting copies in the inner circle. That's why I encourage you, if you have not joined Netvangelism 360 inner circle, you want to go join it because you get access to so many things. Again, go to netvangelism360.com/inner circle to get an idea of what I'm talking about here. I will see you in the next video.